earlier, in a webinar, you may have people other than yourself who need to speak or present during the session, and since regular attendees can't appear on screen or share their screens, you can designate these other speakers as panelists in the webinar, which gives them the ability to share their screens, appear on camera, and basically to be seen and heard by the attendees just like the host can. So once you've scheduled your webinar, which we saw how to do previously, you can select it here under Upcoming Webinars, and then scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here under Invitations, you'll find Invite Panelists, and here we can click Edit. Then just enter the name and email address of the person you're inviting to be a panelist in your webinar. Now it says here you can enter an email or a Zoom room. Just in case you don't know, a Zoom room is a physical meeting room, often in a conference room in an office building, that has Zoom-specific hardware installed, like cameras and microphones. If you're working with someone who has access to or whose company uses a Zoom room, you can enter the room name here. In this case, I'll just put in this email address. And then you can continue to add panelists. If you're subscribed to the webinar plan that allows for up to 100 attendees in a webinar, you can make all 100 attendees panelists if you want. But if everyone is going to be a panelist, you might as well be using a Zoom meeting instead of a webinar. But if you have any of the larger webinar plans, you can have up to 300 panelists in a webinar. If you leave Send Invitation to all newly added panelists immediately, the email invite will be sent as soon as you click Save. And you can see they're now listed here as panelists. And when the webinar starts, or when you begin a practice session, the people you've designated as panelists will have the panelist privileges as soon as they sign in. And we'll take a look at setting up a practice webinar session next. Zoom webinars